Welcome back to Wookies on X-Wing. My name is Matt.
I'm John.
And today we've got our first game of the Maritime Regional Championships.
I'm very excited for this.
Should be good. There's a lot of people turned out. We had a nice crowd. We filled the store. So we should hopefully have some interesting games for you folks.
Alright, so two of the players here are very familiar faces. One is Mr. Director Matt Henderson, flying the Bounty Hunter, Soontir Fel, Push the Limit, Royal Guard TIE Fighter, Autothrusters with Stealth Device, and Jax with VI, Autothrusters, Royal Guard TIE Fighter, and a targeting computer.
Alright, and his opponent is Clayton Flint of the War Machine fame. He's playing IG-88B with Veteran Instincts, the IG-2000 title, Autothrusters, a heavy laser cannon, Inertial Dampeners, and a fire control system, and IG-88D of the same loadout.
So for our people at home, you want to go a little bit in detail of what the different, what the B and D is?
Well, B is, basically he's playing full offensive here. B is, if you miss with your attack, you can immediately perform a secondary weapon attack. So if he misses you, he's going to shoot you again with a heavy laser cannon.
Kind of like a super gunner.
It's a little scary. You know, you have the option of the Mangler cannon for that range 1 to 3 retaliation, or the heavy laser cannon of, you don't get to retaliate at range 1, but you're throwing 4 dice at range 1 anyway, so it should be fine.
You can still use your regular blasters, which is still pretty powerful.
And then D is when either of the IG-88s does a Signer loop, you can use the hard turn template instead of a bank.
Very flexible there.
So it's some nice, you can end up in some strange positions.
So I know that you've talked to Clayton about his list a little bit, so you want to talk to us about why he chose Veteran Instinct over the ever-popular Push the Limit.
Well, I like that Pilot Skill 8, I feel is high enough to try to fight for and try to get to that first shot. I mean, yeah, you're not going against like Wedge, Han, they're still shooting first, but it's high enough that some of the other characters you can start trying to tie or trying to beat. And the idea with this IG-88 list, you know, if you're fairly familiar with the overall meta, as it were, of low ship counts, big ships, turrets, and you know, the idea with the IG-88 is it does very well against these type of lists with auto thrusters and just the amount of damage it can put out and the maneuverability these ships have.
So let's talk a little bit about Matt Henderson's list here. So he's playing two really high pilot skill TIE fighters decked out to the nines, you know, extra sour cream on the side, and then you have the Bounty Hunter there. That's not something I'm used to seeing. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I was talking to Matt, the idea with the Bounty Hunter, it's a distraction, partly, and it's a nice anchor. Like, yeah, it's low pilot skill, but it's fairly evasive. It's got a good attack, and it's got a lot of health. So you can you know, either use it as a finisher or just distract people so they don't shoot his interceptors.
Right on. So here you have Soontir Fel just screaming up the side, and then barrel rolling. I'm not used to seeing Fel going before Jax, but you know, Jax having VI is always nice, having that pilot skill 10.
Yeah.
You don't want Fel to get too stressed out.
No, he's looks like he's got Fel setting up in a flanking position here. Clayton's got one IG going way out wide, and one is powering up the middle. And at this point, they're the same ship. Because of that IG-2000 title, they have access to each other's pilot skills.
Yeah, absolutely. So which IG-88 would you go after first?
That's a tough one, really.
For me, it would probably be D.
Just try to limit limit that maneuverability. Yeah, it's a tough one because Matt has medium to high evasive ships. The pilot ability for B may trigger fairly often. Like with your lower evasion ships like a Decimator or a Falcon that's not necessarily running 3PO or has already spent it,
yeah,
you're probably going to get hit and not trigger that ability. But Matt has some good defense dice.
All right, so Matt here has just landed on one of these new obstacles, and it looks like Clayton has also just landed on one. So, doesn't look like there was any damage taken from the obstacle, but Matt is stressed from it.
Yeah, the obstacles are these debris clouds, as they are. You only take a crit. If you roll dice, it only affects you with a crit, but you always get a stress.
So that's a bit brutal.
It is. It's interesting mirrored oopses. But we've got the other IG swinging around, setting up a trying to set up a kill box. It looks like it's a nice position there.
It's very dangerous for Jax to be flying up like that.
It is.
I mean,
It looks like he's going to try to unload right into the side of that one IG, but he is caught dead in the crosshairs of the other one.
well, Jax wants to be up close and personal to get that nice bubble of nope, as we've seen countless times doing Wookiees on X-Wing. So I can totally understand Matt's desire to get up and personal with that.
For sure. But we do have a bit of an oops, because Jax has moved before Soontir. So it looks like we are going to rewind. Do resolve Soontir Fel. So it's an easy enough mistake to make. Just like, hey, what's his power skill? 8, right? Oh no, it's not.
Yeah, especially with veteran instincts going on.
Yeah, it's definitely a little confusing. It's gonna be interesting here. My gut says Matt is just going to try to get both of these interceptors on that stranded IG, as it were.
Fair enough.
Seems the logical thing to do.
So I think he's wondering whether he wants to barrel roll first or boost first. He's going with the barrel roll. He will probably do a boost for push the limit, which will give him a focus from the stress.
And a nice fire arc. It looks like the boost would have landed him on the... could have landed him on the debris field, which... it's an illegal action at that point, so... better to play it safe.
Absolutely.
And here we go. Now we got Carnor moving up. Back to his original position. In the proper order. So that IG could be in trouble.
Yeah, that's a lot of attack dice coming at him. Fortunately, it looks like the Firespray is not doing much this turn, but still brutal.
It's still Carnor and Soontir shooting at the same ship. Soontir may be shooting through that debris cloud. It looks like closest to closest. It's probably going to clip it, but we'll see exactly what's going on.
I think he's trying to barrel roll so he's within range 1 of the other ship. He'd rather be up close and personal rather than risk it getting too much damage on him.
Oh, that's unfortunate. He has barrel rolled out of fire arc, however. So that's a shame, but it happens to all of us. So folks wanted to try to prevent the one IG from using his focus action.
Yeah, sometimes you can't have your cake and eat it too.
No, unfortunately. Looks like that was no damage taken there.
Well, I mean, even if he doesn't get to fire this turn, being in the way like that, the IG-88 is going to have to bump or do a really hard maneuver. So by not shooting this turn, he's really setting the stage of where the next turn's going.
Oh, for sure. And here we go. We got him unloading on Carnor. Oh no, this is that B trigger we were talking about. So he had missed the first attack, procs the pilot ability of B, and gets a point of damage through onto the Firespray.
B is for brutal.
Here we go, we have the other IG opening up on Carnor. Looks like 3 points there. Couple evasion, but there's that target. Oh, looks like only one successful evasion, however.
Takes a crit.
Oh, the glare! The glare is real! Was worth a try.
We know you mean well.
Yeah, hitting a crit. That was not the result he's hoping for, I think.
Yeah, especially since he's not as tanky as we're used to seeing Carnor Jax. With our previous contestant in the last chain of videos that we had,
Yeah, Ian likes his tanky Carnor.
So yeah, we're not used to seeing a super skilled Carnor, as it were.
Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely an alpha strike. And there it is, that 4 defense dice for shooting through an obstruction. But he does get some damage through, so we'll take it.
Well, he didn't roll any blank results, and that's the thing. With Autothrusters, if you're range 3, not that he was, but if you were at range 3, then only blank results help you.
Yeah. So there we go. We got the Bounty Hunter moving up. Looks like he bumps, but he sheds his stress. He's gonna gum up that nice open area. You know, quite possibly limit exactly where. Oh, he didn't bump. I may have been mistaken on that. I'm pretty sure he did.
Well, Matt doesn't always need to bump.
I need to eat. And here we go. We got.
We don't like you when you're hungry?
No. So we go, shedding the stress from that IG, moseying on up. Seems that this is a good setup for a possible, either just a Signer loop next turn or just turn around.
Well, here's you get the boost going on.
Some very.
So that is definitely the right move to make when you can't make any shots and you're either boosting away from potential damage, getting to that range 3 to make full use of your auto thrusters, or setting yourself up for next turn.
Yeah, this is a very, very maneuverable large ship.
And it's tough to say if he would have been in the firing arc before that fire spray or not. That's one thing you always have to keep in mind, that those fire sprays can shoot behind them, and it's not considered an auxiliary arc.
Here's that the pilot ability of D coming into effect. That turned Signer loop. And very nice slot in.
And he just made that. I can see the tiniest gap between the ship and the fighter.
That's some nice flying there. So that fire spray is probably in trouble right now.
I'm always impressed watching these videos, and you have players do some really bozo maneuvers early in the game, and then pull stuff like that. I'm like, you're so good at this game!
Alright, you learn. You're just getting the rust off.
Yeah.
Here we go. We got Baron Fel. He's got the Senate Blood. Wants to shoot someone, get some vengeance. Boosting up into position. That's the nice thing about Fel, just that with Push the Limit and his pilot ability, the guy's nuts.
Yeah. For some reason, I always think that Soontir Fel is listening to Judas Priest whenever he's flying into battle.
Yeah, seems legit. And there we are. We got push for an evade. Gets a focus. Yeah, that's a very, very tanky Fel right now.
Yeah. You're not going to mess with him this turn.
Looks like Jax is going for the joust.
5k turn.
Lovely, lovely maneuver with the interceptor. It's fantastic.
Now, I'm very interested to see...
He's got out of fire range.
Well, even at range 3, Jax with that auto thruster is kind of where he wants to be, but the fact that he's not in the firing arc at all, I mean, that's the best way of not getting shot at or not taking any damage is not getting shot.
Looks like Matt has opted to shoot at Fel this turn.
You mean Clayton?
Or Clayton.
Against the guy who's been hit. Okay.
Oh, Matt's shooting. Alright, here we go.
So some firepower going at. Get
Get
some more damage.
Nice. Get a point through. That's always good. So here we go. Now who's Clayton going to shoot at? That looks like a fire spray.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to
that's
tell.
true.
It's hard to tell because of the heavy laser cannon, but I mean, I would go with the fire spray. You have the potential for crits, but
Well, looks like, yeah, he has gone after Fel, though.
the auto thrusters is not going to trigger because he's only at range 2.
There. But he did evade it, however. And there's that B coming in, and oh, that's unfortunate. But he has an evade token.
Yeah, I mean, Soontir Fel is super tanky with all of those tokens that he has available to him. You know, and at the range that it was at, it's very difficult to fire at him like that.
For sure.
I mean, I would probably have gone after. I mean, you said that the fire spray is bait, and I believe you on that. But it's still a sizable chunk. It's still in the way.
It is, and it's still got 3 firepower. Like it's got some good guns, and it looks like it was in the firing arc. So Matt is able to shoot at the IG, and gets does some damage to it. All right, he's picking away at him.
So 4 attack dice, it's nothing to snuff at.
No, so he is right now trading health for shields. He is trading health on his interceptors. So it's not necessarily the most favorable, but he still does have all of his ships.
Now this is an interesting play. I was not expecting him to move forward like that. The reason why I say that is I would have probably banked him off, made use of that rear firing arc and made way for Jax a little bit, because Jax doesn't have that much to go, and it would have also nullified his ability for Clayton to do a hard signal loop.
Yeah. So it's nice little drift forward. Here's a nice ability of the IG, one of those large ships with a 1 turn.
Yeah, and I'm almost positive that Clayton's going to boost here in a second.
Seems very likely.
Seems like the right thing to do.
Looks like, yep. So setting up double tap on likely Jax. Just get him out of the way quickly.
Yeah. Now here's Soontir Fel with balls of steel.
Needs a wheelbarrow to carry them. Nice flying though.
Yeah, very nice flying on Matt's part. That's just brutal. Now, if we can just get Jackson there, and I think then everything will be gravy for Matt.
That's a green. That 2 bank. That's a green maneuver. So Fel can just focus up. Doesn't have to push if he doesn't want to. Looks like he's out of firing arc this turn, so he can leave himself unstressed and do whatever he wants next turn.
So this is a bump here. And again, a little interesting that he bumped like he did here, knowing that he was going to be moving the fire spray towards Jax. So I don't know if this was intentional or not. I'd like to think it is.
A little surprising, perhaps. But
A 3 bank might have been good, and then with a 1 boost afterwards.
We'll see. So we got Jax. Jax first. Now, Matt has had the misfortune of having to split his fire on the 2 IGs, but he can now try to focus on one of them.
It's very tricky to focus that last one with Jax though, because I think it's going to be range 3.
Looks like.
So then he gets the auto thruster trigger, even though he is naked for the most part. 4 attack dice with an auto thruster trigger is something that you have to think about when you're firing at that kind of ship.
4 defense dice for sure. And just natively having 3 evade dice on such a big platform is... Oh, any TIE Fighter players out there know just how potent it can be. But...
when it works, it works.
Looks like you got stripped the shield off him though. So there's Fel at work. Getting work done. Now let's see if Carnor can survive the inevitable return fire. Now, this is why I like those heavy laser cannons. Just the volume that you can put out with them is astounding.
Well, not only that, but if you're at range 4, or sorry, range 3, range 4, yeah, of course. Range 3, you don't care. The heavy laser cannon, I mean, you are getting the auto thrusters trigger still, but you aren't getting, they aren't getting that bonus defense dice. And there Jax goes.
That's it. So Clayton is now free to just put fire into the back of that fire spray. Looks like Matt was able to evade the first one. However, here's that B pilot ability triggering.
It's getting a lot of work done.
We mentioned at the start with those highly evasive ships, you're going to see it a lot.
And with those not highly evasive ships, well, you're going to hit them a lot anyway because you're firing 4 attack
Yeah,
dice.
I have a laser cannon.
Okay, so
Yeah, but I mean, against like a 3PO Falcon, that's gonna make him decide: do I want to use 3PO?
Yeah. Welcome to Gunner, the
Yeah,
Supreme
exactly.
Edition.
1 hit.
You know, with each ship potentially being able to use that double tap,
Alright,
that makes your opponent really think.
Yeah, with the networked IG-88s, you really gotta pick one out and take it down as quickly as possible. You eliminate that one of their pilot skills.
Would have ran into him anyway.
It's golden.
Yeah,
Oh, he has an action.
it's impressive. So here we go. Looks like Matt's gonna try to use his butt cannons, for lack of a better description. So he doesn't have to K-turn with the fire spray. He can just
Totally not what I thought you
fly it and shoot behind him.
Yeah,
Just try to pepper at Clayton.
veer lazily to the left.
And then try to get Fel set up behind to support.
He'll say keep it focused.
Now, if I was, this is probably going to be a 3 Signer loop.
Very,
Bank.
very likely.
There's no reason why it shouldn't be, and it is.
And that's that beautiful thing with D is you may use the turn. You don't have to. So you have 4 Signer loops instead of 2.
Yeah.
It's incredible. And that
And
was
you don't need to
beautiful use of it right there.
Absolutely. And you don't need to decide until then and there.
Yeah.
Get out of there, Matt.
Beautiful. So got Baron Fel right in his crosshairs. Fel is extremely unlikely to kill the IG before the IG can act.
What I would do right here is I would barrel roll and I would push to evade, get the focus, and just range 1 into the one that he's already focusing with the fire spray. And hopefully, if I'm outside of the range 1 arc, then I'm not as worried. I mean, 4 attack dice is still 4 attack dice, but none of them are crits.
Yeah. And again, it's that thing of splitting up. The IG whose shields are down is the one that just Signer looped, and he can't focus fire that. So Clayton is using his shields very efficiently here.
Though, to be fair, the other thing to keep in mind is that in the range 1 band, he doesn't get that gunner trigger. So, if he stays at the range 1 band, he's still getting the 4 attack dice, but if he evades them, then he's not getting the gunner trigger.
Yeah. It's reminiscent of the Donut of Doom,
Yeah.
but you still have a range 1 attack.
Deadly.
So here we go. It looks like he's just opted to focus and push for an evade. And it's the lovely thing of Fel's ability is you're assigned to focus, so you can get 2 on you, 1 for offensive and 1 for defensive.
If I had extras, I'd probably have too many.
It looks like that's what he's opted to do. So nice 3 hits.
Very brutal. Always nice when that happens.
Looks like some damage is going through here.
I said that backwards.
So good rolling. Now we'll see if Matt's defense dice will not forsake him.
So range 1.
It's the,
Oh, that crit stays. Sorry.
perhaps the downside of highly
Yeah, so
evasive ships is you are somewhat reliant on the dice.
Okay, so there's 1 focus.
Evade.
Evade, so it's 2 off, but that is still enough to take him out.
That's the downside.
And there's only a fire spray left on the board, and it has been severely damaged.
It is.
I'll focus for 3 hits.
It has taken some good hits, and it is now the focus of the ire of 2 bounty hunters.
Yeah.
Other bounty hunters.
Take an evade and then take 3.
And Matt's in trouble.
Alright, so some damage has just gone through, and we're going to see what it looks like. And it looks like that is game. A brutal game at that.
Yeah, some nice flying, nice use by Clayton of forcing your opponent to not be able to focus fire on one particular ship. It was very good. Nice flying by both parties. You know, I liked the mirror. Oh, oops!
Yeah.
At the start of the game, that was pretty cool.
It was pretty good.
But no, it was a fun game to watch.
I was just so impressed with how quickly everything just blew up.
It's like I like IG. 88. I think it's a great ship. It's not as easy to fly as 2 Rebel large ships or 2 or 3 bounty hunters, but
It gets shit done.
it really does.
Alright guys, tell us what you think. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. You can always find us at northerngamingnetwork.com. You can check us out at Twitter at NorthGameNet, or even Facebook at Northern Gaming Network. Now, if you enjoyed Clayton and you want to see him in his natural environment, be sure to check out his War Machine videos. They're fairly good. And if you want to see more X-Wing videos, tune in every Wednesday.
And we'll be here.